Everyone, my name is Diana Garcia from the course Language and Culture, and today we're gonna discuss about the Canadian culture. And my classmates are Laura Elizabeth, Ingrid, Margie, y María Alejandra. So, my classmate Mayra is gonna start.
Um, uh, Canada, Canada who was on in ambivalent in French country modern French speakers do the number American who have taken up residence in Canada. In addition to this, there are other language and the result of immigrants. The language, although they are minor, come from countries such as Italian, German, China, and others. There are all indigenous languages that are very few, but are of great political and cultural importance in Canada.
Okay. And the Canada culture is a vibrant mosaic of the diversity influences that reflect, for example, the country has a rich and diversity and the different reflection, for example, indigenous people, bilingual celebration and festival and sport and art and entertainment and the cuisine. For example, the country someone characterizes the important this culture. Um, Canada is very important bilingual because it's official language. The country have two languages, English and French. The province de Quebec is unique to the regions and is distinctive, for example, the culture and include only music, food, and the tradition. And another characteristic is the celebrations and the festivities. In Canada, have included, for example, Day the July 1st, Thanksgiving, music festival, and another character this country is a culture event of the indigenous people. In this country, we have the cuisine and the cultural diversity, for example, a lot of influence from around the world. And then we have the different dishes, including, for example, fried potatoes with cheese is very famous, the very tasty food. And another is the maple syrup, meat pies, and smoked salmon. And Canada is the culture diversity because it's a lot rich and reflection histories and we have a lot in migrations, the people from around the world.
Teaching French is the second language for Canadians predominantly English-speaking students. Canadian education system places greater emphasis on learning and success in lower need subjects such as languages, arts, mathematics, and science, while subjects such as music, visual arts, and physical education are given less importance. The system is continuing to meet the diverse needs of each student. Most Canadian education system continue through grade 12, between 17 and 18 years of age. Primary education and secondary education combined are sometimes referred as K-12, kindergarten through grade 12. It should be noted that this structure may vary from school to school and from province to province. In Canada, secondary education, now as high school or école secondary, varies depending on the province in which you reside. Education compulsory until 16 in all provinces of Canada, except Ontario and New Brunswick, where the mandatory except age are 18 years. Students can continue attending secondary school until the age of 19 to 21 years. The age limit of secondary education varies between provinces. Class schedules in Canadian schools tend to be quite similar to the rest Anglo-Saxon and Western countries. Classes usually start at 8 in the morning in the most schools, and they finish around 3:30 in the afternoon.
Canadians are recognized for being peaceful, cooperate, and generous. Canada is recognized for being the second safest country in the world. Since of has a high level of security, its unemployment and inflations are low. The people have a good quality of life which allows social problems, new the inequality or poverty do not arise, allowing its people to be keen of tolerant.
Okay, so now I'm gonna talk about my experience living in Canada. I lived there 1 year, long time ago, and the first thing I would like to say is that Canada is very multicultural, as it was said before. You're gonna find many kind of cultures, and that's that means that you're gonna find many kind of food around, and there's gonna be always a social event particular about each country. um I don't know if it was mentioned before, but the uh, Canada, they celebrate the Independence Day, the 1st of July. I think Mayra said the 1st of July, and they celebrate also Thanksgiving. They also celebrate Christmas and many other. They have other holidays, and they put in French fries. They are made. This is like a traditional food. It's more like a snack, and they eat it. It's French fries sauce. It's a special sauce, and kind of it's a cheese, like a cheese. Um, this kind of cheese is like similar to the queso cuajada, and for us. And what else? And the maple syrup. This maple syrup, they come from the trees, and they have really big trees where the syrup they take out of the syrup, and they use the Canadian dollar. And for example, I lived in the Quebec part. That means they learn French is the first language, like it's an official language, and is a must in schools. Where I was in a school where they speak only English, but most of the schools they only study in just in French, and they see English as a second language. But in the school where I was, it was just in English, and French was second. But it was a must. Like you needed to learn French to be able to graduate, and that's it. That is. They have all the weather, all the weather I could say, like science, winter, summer, autumn. They have all the weather, and then the weather, the winter is really strong. It's really strong, and yeah, I think that is all. And thank you for watching our video, and thank you all for the participation. That is all.